In today's guide, we are going to offer you a step-by-step tutorial on how you can manage to grow potatoes, from selecting the best place to plant, the best varieties, how to plant, how to control the common pests and diseases, and of course, at the end, harvesting. And a bonus tip on your common queries, all the questions that you ask, to ensure that you manage to succeed in potatoes farming. Well, I'm Kelvin Wairimu from FARMWorks. FARMWorks, it's an agricultural solution center where we train you farmers on maximizing and making the best out of your farming. We say our aim is to ensure that you get an extra coin in your pocket. Now, if you are here and you've not managed to subscribe, kindly make sure that you subscribe and share. What we usually appreciate and feel happy of is that the fact that you're here, it means that you are this focused farmer who really want to get the detail and also realistic solutions that can manage to empower and grow your farming. We know that farming is key and it is a business to you. So we really appreciate the fact that you are here. And don't forget that you can manage to share this with other farmers so that we can enlighten each other and help each other grow. To begin with, let's answer this question. Why should one grow potatoes? I know this is a question in your head, and especially for farmers who haven't decided to do potatoes. The number one reason that you should plant potatoes is the fact that they mature very fast, within 90 to 120 days. Then, market. There is always a ready market for potatoes. Yes. However, when it comes to profitability, that's where we draw the line. Because profitability now depends with the market supply, and also it tends to depend with where your farm is located and how easy you can manage to access the market from your point. Therefore, you find that most farmers in rural areas and who have a little production cannot manage to supply their 2, 3, 4, 5 or 10 bags to the market, and therefore tend to depend on brokers who use this opportunity to exploit them and take advantage of them, end up buying at low prices, while for them they make a kill. The only time that most farmers tend to make a profit is when there is kind of shortage in the market, and therefore brokers have little options to buy from, and therefore ends up buying from these farmers. But if you can manage to access the market, potatoes is a very good variety for you to do and a good choice of crop that you can manage to venture. Where should you plant potatoes? Potatoes all require these ideal conditions. They tend to thrive in cool temperatures of between 15 and 20 degrees Celsius. And the best areas to plant potatoes commercially and with these ideal conditions are Nyeri, Kiambu, Narok, Bomet, Nyandarua, Nakuru, Meru, and Elgeyo Marakwet. Potatoes require well-drained loamy soil with a pH of 5.5 to 6.5. It's good to avoid planting them on clay soil or water-logged soils to prevent them from rotting. With this, let's check on the best potato varieties that you can plant. I will focus on 3 of them, though there are many. And number 1, which is very famous, is Shangi. It's a fast maturing variety within 90 days. It's high yielding, between 10 and 15 tons per acre, and it's very popular for chips. It also has low dormancy, meaning that they will germinate fast, and has high resistance to blight, which makes it economical to manage in controlling the common disease, which we shall focus in a later section. The other variety is Kenya Mpya. It's a good disease-resistant variety and tends to mature at 100 to 120 days and tends to yield between 12 and 18 tons. Another variety is Crown IG70. It's a new color variety, and this one tends to yield between 15 and 20 tons and it's also blight resistant. Other varieties, like I mentioned, include Sherekea and Makis. For better yields, always choose certified seeds. And these certified seeds, you can manage to buy them at color centers. Yes, this is the only place that I know it's guaranteed of certified seeds. Like Calotigoni, they have a lot of these certified seeds. The only problem with buying from farmers who purport to have these certified seeds is that you cannot have the 100% trust or guarantee that these are indeed certified seeds. Let's jump into how you plant your potatoes. Plow the land as loose as possible and make it free of weeds. Plant the seeds at 30 centimeters apart in nose and 75 centimeters apart. And you can sow them now 10 to 15 centimeters deep. The main target is to have at least 14,000 and 16,000 plants per acre. The best time to plant potatoes in Kenya is often during the rainy seasons, that is March, May, or October around December. Potatoes require a lot of water to grow and expand. Yes. And if they do lack this water, they tend to give poor yield. After sprouting, make sure that you ledge or cover with the soil. Ledging helps protect the tuber from the soil damage, and which can cause the tuber greening. Normally, potatoes take between 90 to 120 days to grow and mature in Kenya. After planting, let's check the feeding and the fertilizers. And here are the best fertilizers for potatoes farming in Kenya. In commercial potato farming, it's always ideal to carry out soil testing to establish the pH, nutritional content, and also the health status. Before planting, apply 2 to 3 tons of well-decomposed manure per acre and mix evenly. Apply DAP, the 1860, at the rate of 50 kg per acre 21 days after sowing. Later, 60 days after sowing, you can top dress now with NPK 17 at the rate of 50 kgs per acre. DAP and NPK 17 are the best fertilizers for potatoes farming in Kenya. What happens when you plant and then the rain subsidizes? Potatoes, as I've said, need a lot of water to develop big tubers. Constant moisture is paramount during tuber formation, but also ensure that you avoid over-irrigation to prevent root rot. In dry seasons, water at least 2 to 3 times weekly. Drip irrigation is often the most efficient system in dry seasons. Let's check out now the big problem in potatoes farming, and that is pests and diseases. And here are the common pests in potatoes farming. Number 1, aphids. These are sap-sucking insects, and they tend to transmit viral diseases in potatoes, like the potato leaf roll virus. Aphid-transmitted viruses probably cause greater economic loss in potato production than all other insect-related damage. So you have to make sure that you control them as much as possible. You can spray the under or profile insecticide mixed with the integral aquavit sticker to control them. The other one is potato cyst nematode, the PCN. Nematodes are tiny microscopic worms with some soil-dwelling species infecting and adversely affecting most, if not all, cultivated crops. The management of potato cyst nematodes is particularly challenging due to the pest's ability to survive in the soil as tiny protective cysts. Initially, crop display patches of poor growth, and affected plants show chlorosis and wilting, with poor top growth. These symptoms develop from the ground of the crop upwards. If an affected plant is lifted carefully, it should be possible to see many pinhead-sized spherical objects known as cysts on the roots. Nematode cysts are the dead bodies of females which can contain 200 to 600 eggs each. The cyst may be white, yellow, chestnut brown in color, and can be seen more readily with the aid of a hand lens. Every infested plant die prematurely and yield a poor crop of undersized tubers that often show signs of rotting. When an area is first infected by potato cyst nematode, only a small part of it may be affected. But in successive years, the population will increase and spread through the movement of the soil. The affected area will enlarge until it becomes impossible to grow worthwhile potatoes. The best solution is crop rotation or planting them in fields that had never been planted before. That's the best solution for these nematodes. So there are also some chemicals like the nematicides that you can use, but they're not as effective as opting to plant these potatoes in an area that it had never been done before. The common disease in potatoes farming, and this number one is the most destructive disease that has kicked out most potatoes farming from this business, and it's late blight. It is a fungal disease with first symptoms of late blight in the field being small, light to dark green, circular to irregular shaped, water-soaked spots. These lesions usually appear first on the lower leaves. Lesions often begin to develop near the leaf tips or edges where the dew is retained the longest. During cold, moist weather, these lesions expand rapidly into large, dark brown or black lesions, often appearing greasy. Leaf lesions also frequently are surrounded by yellow chloric halo. Now, the best solution to this is making sure that you apply fungicide preventively. And a good common fungicide that you can use is the Ridogel Gold. This one will help prevent the infection. Once infected, sometimes it becomes hard to control it. Another worst disease is bacteria wilt. Bacteria wilt is caused by a soil-borne bacterium. Wilting is the first seen as the dropping of the tip of some of the lower leaves, similar to that caused by temporary shortage of water. Actually, you may confuse it to water stress. At first, only one branch on a hill may show wilting. Affected leaves later become permanently wilted and roll upwards and inwards from the margin. The wilting then extends to the leaves further up the stem and is followed by yellowing of the leaves. This yellowing, wilting, and in-rolling of the leaves makes diseased plant very obvious, especially when surrounded by the healthy plants. The leaves finally turn brown and fall off, beginning at the base of the stem and continuing upwards. Unfortunately, in most cases, this disease tends not to have any cure. But you can prevent the infection by planting using certified seeds and also doing it in a crop field that it had never planted before. With this now, by the end of 90 to 120 days, your potatoes are ready to harvest. And harvesting happens by just digging them gently with a fork, uprooting it, and this will help avoiding damaging the tuber. At this section, this is where we answer your frequently asked questions about potato farming. Question number one, how long does it take to grow? Normally, potatoes take 90 to 120 days to mature, depending on the variety and the management. Which potato varieties are the best? Like we said, Shangi, Kanyampia, Corona G70, the Shelekea are among the best potato varieties to plant for high yields and disease resistance. What are ideal conditions for planting potatoes? Of course, the cool climate of 15 to 20 degrees, having a loamy soil with a pH of 5.5 to 6.5, and good rainfall. These are ideal for potato farming. Is potato farming profitable? Now, profitability depends on market prices and also the yield per acre. And a good market price, you can make a profit between 90,000 and 200 per acre. And don't forget, also, loss is inevitable, and especially when prices crash. So profitability is a 50-50 ratio. Now, another question that especially new potato farmers ask is, what causes low yields? And of course, as I keep saying, poor seed quality, pests, diseases, and poor management are the main factors that cause poor potato yields. Which fertilizers are the best? You have the DAP for planting, NPK 1717 for crop dressing. These are the best for potato success. And finally, where can you buy certified seeds? If you can manage to reach color centers, I believe they have the best potato certified seeds. What are the costs? Now, the cost of farming potatoes range from 100,000 to 150,000 per acre, and this one is for the seeds, fertilizer, and labor. And of course, it tends to vary with region and also your management. Now, with this, you can start your potato farming today or expand your existing one. Don't mind sharing your tips and questions in the comment section. We shall answer them directly. Thanks for watching, and let me see you next on our guide on how you can manage to grow tomatoes successfully from seed to harvest. And thank you, and see you next.